This is Observious, bringing you guys another League of Legends commentary. And today I'm going to be taking, it looks like, a lane maokai. Honestly, I don't even remember this game, but it appears I could be taking a solo top. That looks interesting. We are going to have a jungle Udyr, fairly likely that Annie's going to be mid, and a Blitzcrank Caitlyn bottom lane. And that's been proving a fairly strong duo throughout, ranked as it is, and so I'm fairly confident in our bottom lane's capabilities. Annie's been jokingly called overpowered, yet LeBlanc and Brand are the known counters to Annie in lane, and they do have a LeBlanc, so a little bit interested to see what else going on there. And they do have a jungle Nunu. He was hit, some patches ago as far as his slow nerf, and I think his consume also, so I'm not too certain how I feel about that. I have seen some good Nunus, I've seen some bad Nunus, but late game I think that he tapers off a little bit. They do have a lane wick, so that's probably going to be my opponent. I have yet to encounter a lane wick, or up to this game I hadn't encountered a lane wick, so I'm a little bit interested in that. And I'm of course saying I'm going to go top, I'm going to go steal their wraiths. And I take a Dorn's Ring to really quickly do that, like I was jungling, since you don't need smite to do it. And I'm going to go ahead and give Nunu a little bit of a disadvantage. Of course, he's a really good counter jungler, so he could possibly do blue wolves, and then wraiths, or, our wraiths, and go to his blue, and so on. But I'm going to do what I can over here, just to get a little bit of a lead. Caitlyn and Blitzcrank are, of course, covering over here. The only way we wouldn't see them would be if they took this whole bottom route over to blue, but I'm pretty sure that Udyr is going to go ahead and start over here. And here you can see me starting that sapling drop. maokai, of course, telling Annie to not let LeBlanc snowball, so that'll be interesting. Fairly obvious, but LeBlanc is an assassin mage, but she does a very strong amount of burst that beats Annie, and so that's kind of her advantage early game. Versus Brand's big thing is that he outranges Annie, and there's that. I'm going to go ahead and immediately teleport top. I might have been able to run there, but I teleported, and that could hurt me later on, as that cooldown is, if it's reduced, it's only, no, it's 300 seconds at base at least, so that's a 5-minute cooldown, plus whatever the teleport mastery is. And yep, it is going to be a Warwick in the top lane. I'm going to be keeping an eye on this for the first few levels. Not really going to worry too much about the rest of it. You can see I'm kind of just trying to get my level up there. Annie's having fun in the mid lane. She seems to be okay. I'm trying to get some last hits, but Warwick's being really aggressive. He also started with a Dorn's Ring, and possibly I should have started with a Boots and 3 Pots and just not have counter jungled. But I wanted that fast level 2 so I could try harassing him, and we'll see exactly who can come out on top. Now you can see I took a lot of damage from the minions there, making that fairly equaled out. The main reason I'm trading here is because he can sustain so very, very hard and sort of poke for free with that Q of his. Some people claim, there's mana issues, but I haven't really seen that, and the minions are really harassing me. Meanwhile, Annie's going to go ahead and call LeBlanc OP, so she's having troubles. So while this is going on up here, let's go ahead and peek on at Annie for now. Alistar and Ashe seem to be about equal for the time being. But I'm a little bit concerned on this stage. I mean, sure, I'm getting beat up over here. I might die, but so we'll keep an eye on that. Here he is. He's going to go ahead and Q, flash, and auto attack me, so I'm going to go ahead and get out of there, and I'll escape with 23 health. And immediately start recalling. And you can see that, yeah, I got him down to a bar and a half, but he just queued his way back up, and he's going to go ahead and call me a rude name. At the same time, Annie's going to go ahead and curse and recall, so she was forced out of lane. So already I'm losing the top lane, Annie's losing the bottom lane. I'm still trying to get an idea of how to deal with Warwick, since I can't last hit. And what I should have done was just sat back and probably last hit with saplings, so he couldn't get in my face with that. I think that might have given him the lane. This looks like a fairly balanced lane, although we are pushing up a little bit, so we could expect a Nudeer gank there soon. Not Nudeer gank, a Nunu gank there soon. Sorry. I'm of course going to be sitting back, and Annie is of course already cursing, saying, "How do I stop that?" And she was, I believe, our team captain. Yep. And she was going to be, I want to say someone else that got banned, but she ended up picking Annie, and she was like, "We got this." So we'll see. I'm a little bit concerned though, because she's playing really, really safe. But they are around 6. No, not yet. We'll see what happens when Annie gets her Tibbers versus LeBlanc gets that extra burst. She wasted her stun on minions, but maybe she needs to do it. And while I'm looking all the way up here, Alistar is able to get the kill onto Blitzcrank, and it looks like Caitlyn will be okay. Shouldn't be anything else over there. I'm of course pushing my lane by doing the saplings bit. I need to sort of work on that still. LeBlanc is going after Annie, and the reason why she didn't die there was the minion did interrupt that route. So she should probably be recalling there. She's going to say that it's seriously messed up, and she's lost half her health via that combo. And so she's just raging at the world. I'm of course telling her to calm down because I'm a tree, and trees don't get mad or anything like that. Caitlyn getting zoned a little bit. I don't think she can really trade with Ashe, although she does have that headshot, and Blitzcrank does barely miss his grab, so we'll see how well they're going to do. I'm of course using Brush to keep ahead. Now, Warwick does have 6, so that's that. And at level 6, his ultimate is definitely better than mine as far as 1-to-1, where he can suppress and do damage, and I can do that. And I really shouldn't have wasted my mana there on that. I thought I had enough for a Q at least. Now I'm going to go ahead and pop my last potion, and I'm a little bit worried I'm going to feed a kill here somehow. We're only behind 1 kill, but they are ahead in experience on both the top lane and the bottom lane. Annie should be 6 by now, no, 5 if that's to be believed. She did get hit by that mark. Blitzcrank's trying to tell Caitlyn to only last hit, so we don't get ganked so hard. I'm of course getting pushed on fairly hard. And alright. Going back to the mid lane, Annie's using a potion. She is level 6. She does not have her stun. I really want to see when she's going to drop Tibbers. That's going to be the deciding factor. Sure, I'm getting poked to death. You can see he's sustaining himself just with auto attacks now. I'm getting low. Over here, they're really extended. Anything could happen pretty much anywhere. And it looks like LeBlanc is going to go ahead and drop in on Annie for more burst. She's going to go ahead and heal that back up. And here comes Nunu ganking in with a flash and snowball. And looks like Blitzcrank is going to go and get picked off with that Alistar headbutt with that red buff Nunu with the snowball. And the mana barrier is popped. The trap does stop Nunu, but he does in fact go down. Meanwhile, I'm of course trying to avoid Warwick by running around over here. So I'm expecting him to leave me fairly soon. And there it is. The suppression, the ignite. I'm going to flash out, but I don't believe I'm going to make it. It looks like he either got an auto attack off or I died. If you look at that, he did get a base attack off somewhere. But Infinite Dress doing 275, Ignite doing 190 with that true damage. And of course down here, Caitlyn gets picked off, and Udyr's in trouble now after they tried to counter gank in the lane. And by counter gank, I mean just defend the lane. Nunu got executed. Ashe got executed, I believe. And so, because no one really did any of that damage, they got away scot-free, which is going to be terrible for our team. Ashe is of course going to go ahead and say, "And you guys traded me for Cat," or not Cat, Kate, as there was a Q dodge, and so those two summoners switched roles. Annie, of course, got her boots, and Adorn's Ring, but is a full blasting wand behind LeBlanc. If we look, LeBlanc has 1 kill, and he of course has 1 death. But even on last hits, LeBlanc is leading Annie by about 11, and really going after Annie there. I'm of course dropping my saplings, but it's not really doing too much to him. He only has plus 10 magic resistance, so I think that's MR per level lives. Probably, although I don't think he has any defensive glyphs, or any defensive masteries that give him resists, so that's something to be positive about. There's me just sort of lasting with my saplings and pushing the lane at the same time. I'm going to go ahead and throw on some free auto attacks to sort of drive him off, since I see he has low mana, and I know he can't really sustain himself, and so he's going to go ahead and back off where he can heal in peace. I'm going to expect to see another Q there. Annie, of course, dying again to LeBlanc. Once LeBlanc starts snowballing, she just gets that damage. And you really got to play it safe, and that wasn't quite it. We get to see really a Timbers drop on LeBlanc. I missed that first time that she died. Blitzcrank, of course, coming in to use his ultimate to drive off the minion wave. And here is going to go ahead and just grab Wraiths. He does have red buff, so we could expect a gank from him soon. Nunu came up into the lane to gank that, and I guess not so much as gank as cover the lane while Warwick recalls, and there was that final port out. And LeBlanc goes off and kills Blitzcrank, so now he's dead. Udyr is forced to cover the lane, and he took a little bit of damage. That's not really showing on this health bar right here. And Caitlyn did just get Enchanted Crystal arrowed, and with that Pulverize, that knockup, she is going to go ahead and go down without being able to do too much damage. And of course going to go ahead and get hawk-shotted, so she's going to go ahead and join the lane. And it looks like LeBlanc has recalled to spend her money. And I would really go in against this Nunu, but I don't have any mana, so a little bit restricted there. I did rush those Merc Treads just for that magic resistance, and of course the move speed to help outrun that. And so, look, I couldn't see Nunu channeling his ultimate there at all. You saw that on my screen, and so I'm pretty sure the Ignite is going to kill me, so that is what it's going to be. But Warwick suppressed me, and I lost a vision of Nunu, so that was a little bit disappointing because I had Flash, I believe, and I ended up using it later as it is on cooldown. But Annie does Tibbers. They're going after Ash, but it doesn't quite work out. Oh, we do go ahead and get her with the Ignite. And Annie does go ahead and die in turn. So now we are going to be 1-11. So things are not going good. Mid has lost their lane. I have lost my lane. Bottom is sort of trading. Although I'm pretty sure they lost that. Alistar and Blitzcrank, of course, running around. LeBlanc did pop her passive, so she is going to be gone, but here we go. Just looking at Caitlyn and Blitzcrank trying to land against LeBlanc and Alistar. I think they're going to be okay though, since LeBlanc is low, but I could be wrong. Blitzcrank taking some fairly good damage. There's his mana barrier popping up, but LeBlanc taking 2 extra auto attacks when her health is already low. I'm of course going to go ahead and go up against my good old buddy Warwick, who is at less than half health. He doesn't really have too much mana. I could possibly get him here. And nope, he's going to go ahead and back off. But he does have that X-Tech revolver, so he will be able to sustain that much harder. And for some reason, Ash is now in the top lane, and that's a surprising twist. Nunu, of course, is taking the bottom lane, and so we currently have the standard 2-1-2. Not quite certain why Ash is up here. I mean, I can burst her down fairly easily. You can see that she went below 40% health right there. And so she kind of just went and took a lot of damage. I guess she was overconfident because she had her BF sword. And so I'm going to be laning versus that. Ash doesn't have her Enchanted Crystal Arrow, so that is 1+. She's going to take a little bit of damage there, go even lower, and she should recall from that spot. And it'll go back to me and Warwick, but now he's at full health, if albeit a little bit low on mana. but I don't see how well that's going to stop him. LeBlanc, of course, dominating her lane versus Annie. We'll see if Annie's able to do anything about it. She does only have 2 charges onto her stun, and remember, whenever she uses 5 spells, she does get the ability to stun on her next spell that isn't her shield. And she'll just go ahead and poke Annie. LeBlanc has her Sork Shoes now, so she's getting even more magic pen. So that's going to be something to worry about. I'm of course going to go ahead and get right up close to Warwick and do absolutely nothing to him, as he just heals so very, very hard. And so I'm looking to just push this off, recall, and teleport back into lane. And this was a bit of a mistake on my part. I didn't know that he was going AP somehow. And so after getting the initial resist, I actually got a chain vest, I'm guessing, for the Ashe and Nunu. Actually, I have no idea why I got a chain vest. That's actually very bad on my part. Getting a chain vest versus all of this. But we will see, Maybe it will pay off. It did seem to do wonders versus Ashe. But Udyr coming in with the bear a little bit too early. He was rooted and then he got stunned during that. And now Udyr is going to go ahead and get suppressed under the tower. So he's gone. I have no mana, so I can't do anything. And so he could be in trouble right here. I'm going to go ahead and interrupt right here with a Q and some auto attacks. But he did dodge, and he showed right there that he doesn't have the 9 in defense, as he does not have nimbleness. Although I suppose he could have strength of spirit. That would be a little bit awkward to have, especially after the strength of spirit nerfs. And Ashe is going to go ahead and pick up Caitlyn with Alistar over there, as she does have slows and good initiation. Alistar, of course, has that headbutt and pulverize. So if they ever get kept alone, or get caught alone, I should say, they will go down, especially when fed. And so it looks like Annie's going to be still trying to... Did she just use her... I think she just used her stun Q on a minion. That's interesting. So she's going to go ahead and use a normal Q on LeBlanc. And Warwick is, of course, going to go ahead and keep on pushing his lane, as I've had to leave the lane. Or... not certain there. I do go ahead and get a Negatron Cloak to deal with the LeBlanc and Warwick. I'm still not certain why I got the chain vest first. The reason why I was waiting on the fountain was I was waiting for about 10 gold for that sideboard. So here I'm going to go ahead and teleport back up to the lane. And I probably should have teleported mid since Udyr was covering the lane, as there was a bit of a dive going on there onto Blitzcrank and Annie. Nunu does have that red buff plus. I'm pretty sure he still has his ultimate to channel. And there are going to be 4 champions in that lane. You can see I was glancing over there real quick. And since Warwick is MIA, I'm going to go ahead and just push up as could cover it. Looks like this star's going to go take the tower with his ultimate. Nunu going to channel his ultimate for a split second. Going to go ahead and pick up the kill on Udyr, and Annie and Blitzcrank are going to go ahead and fall back without any further losses. I'm of course peeking over there while I push this tower, trying to get a tower kill on top of this, although I haven't been able to push it outside of that. And it looks like Alistar's going to be able to pick up the kill with Nunu onto Blitzcrank. And so things are looking pretty grim for Team Purple. And of course going to be forced to leave this lane, as Warwick was lurking about, and he was going to chase me into that jungle, so I took the long way around. LeBlanc and Ashe putting a little bit of damage onto this tower, not able to see the damage on that currently. Bomb tower getting pushed over by Caitlyn, but she is going to go ahead and get intercepted by Alistar despite flashing and ghosting. But it looks like she will in fact get away because she used those 2 summoners. I believe that's her. Yep, she did flash and ghost. And I'm of course going to be doing the perpetual lane versus Warwick, and he's going to go ahead and increase his healing even more with the Spirit Visage. And so he's just got some crazy sustain, as what Spirit Visage does is it does increase his healing and regeneration effects on himself by 15% outside of the cooldown reduction, outside of the health. And the healing effects do include that Q ability and his standard auto attacks, as well as of course his infinite duress, healing him for as much as that does. And of course I'm going to go ahead and just sort of keep on laning up here, and it's going to go ahead and keep recalling. Blitzcrank looking to take our red buff possibly. Oh, no, he's going to go ahead and go and gank the lane. even turning on overdrive a little bit early, but he does have his Mana Mune. No, he doesn't have his Mana Mune. He does have a Tear of the Goddess, which turns into a Mana Mune, and he's going to go ahead and flee the scene of the crime, as he did see a Warwick and Ash both coming toward him. Possibly there was a ward in this tri-bush, not too certain, but he does go ahead and toss a grab in there, and no, they're not silly enough to wait in such an obvious location. Meanwhile, Udyr gets caught at Dragon, and so it looks like LeBlanc might be able to pick up the kill on him, but he's going to go ahead and turn on his Ghost and get away just fine. LeBlanc is going to go ahead and go back towards Dragon, but there are going to be 3 enemy champions up at the top lane as they come over this last outer tower that is up. Here comes Alistar coming in from behind, catches Blitzcrank out of position. Ash misses her arrow, but then if hit duress from Warwick should be enough. I go ahead and try to peel, but it is too little too late, and now my mana is getting lower and lower. Get enough for 1 or 2 more saplings at least, though, especially with that Dawn Train, so I might be okay. I've got Annie up here, and there's the surrender vote coming up. There's already 1 yes, 2 yeses, 1 no. And let's go ahead and dive into all 3 of them and drop her tippers and immediately flash out. So that is that. Annie getting dangerously low. I'm going to go ahead and root Warwick to try to peel them off. And so she's going to go ahead and be okay. But now Alistar's going to go ahead and punt Caitlyn over the wall, so she can go down. I'm going to go ahead and try to get in here with the Q to save her, but that's not going to work out too well. And now Alistar is going to go ahead and dive me with Warwick. I'm going to go ahead and juke the Q, but it's not going to be enough. And she's going to get low, but not low enough. And the surrender vote is currently going to be 3-2-1, waiting for that final vote to come in. And it looks like Udyr's going to be dueling Nunu up here. Blitzcrank's going to be holding the lane, and the surrender vote does go through with 4 votes for and 1 against. And so that will in fact be the game. Bad stomp onto Team Purple with some bad play by me. The mid lane, bottom lane was doing okay, but we sort of lost our lanes up top and mid, so a little bit of my fault there. All of your games are not in fact the teams, but what happens, and that's the game. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you did, be sure to subscribe, and this is Observious, signing out.